while Luo Feng quietly searched throughout the entire city. All the forces in Huyang City were thrown into turmoil. Local families, dark forces, branches of major powers, and even reclusive eternal true gods were all shocked after receiving the latest news. General Yang Hu from the Yu Kingdom's capital had personally fought divine monarch Shui Yun but failed to capture him. Despite Shui Yun affecting 8 billion living beings before escaping, sect leader Shang Tianyan of the Heavenly Flame sect had sacrificed his own life to expose divine monarch Shui Yun's true identity as Sang Shuiyan. At the same time, the bounties had risen dramatically. Divine monarch Shui Yun was worth 10 million cosmic sand. Yusin Shu 2 million cosmic sand, and Yusin Yi 1 million cosmic sand. Each piece of news was enough to shake the entire city. Huyang City had not experienced such a disturbance for a very long time. General Yang Hu was considered one of the prominent figures among all eternal true gods in the Yu Kingdom. Yet divine monarch Shui Yun was able to match him in battle. The appearance of two such terrifying existences in a small place like Huyang City shocked everyone. Although the 10 million cosmic sand bounty on divine monarch Shui Yun caused many to feel greed, no one dared to attempt claiming it. Such a massive reward itself proved the terrifying strength and danger of divine monarch Shui Yun. Meanwhile, within the Heavenly Flame sect, countless disciples gathered in the open square after being summoned. Uncle Chu, the metal life form, announced that sect leader Shang Tianyan had died. According to the arrangements he made before his death, the Heavenly Flame sect would officially disband, and all disciples were required to leave by the next day. The announcement caused an immediate uproar. Many disciples burst into tears and mourned their master. Shang Tianyan had accepted many weak true gods into the Heavenly Flame sect, giving them opportunities as long as they passed his tests. Every disciple had to undergo strict training and selection, and only the best could become direct disciples. Even so, he had personally trained more than 300 direct disciples, an extremely rare achievement among eternal true gods. He never hid his knowledge and taught everything he could to those capable of learning. For many disciples who had once struggled to survive, joining the Heavenly Flame sect and learning artifact refining skills under him had completely changed their destinies. To them, Shang Tianyan was the kindest person they had ever known. Many disciples demanded to know who killed him and wished to take revenge. Uncle Chu explained that Shang Tianyan had revealed divine monarch Shui Yun's identity at the cost of his own life and was killed by Shui Yun. Even the city lord's mansion was currently unable to deal with him. As shown by his enormous bounty of 10 million cosmic sand, the disciples immediately fell silent. For ordinary true gods living in Huyang City, one primal chaos crystal was enough to pay the residence fee for an entire epoch. And many could only save 2 or 3 primal chaos crystals in their lifetime. Even void space true gods generally possessed only tens of thousands of primal chaos crystals, while most eternal true gods had treasures worth around 10 to 20,000 cosmic sand after accounting for their cultivation resources. A valuable mechanical stream treasure was worth around 1 million cosmic sand and could create a terrifying expert like the Blood Python Association leader. Therefore, a bounty of 10 million cosmic sand represented an unimaginable fortune and also a level of danger that even eternal true gods would fear. Uncle Chu instructed everyone to pack their belongings and leave as soon as possible before departing. The disciples remained standing in silence. Overwhelmed by grief, helplessness, and unwillingness, they were willing to risk their lives for revenge. But the strength of their enemy left them in despair. Moyu Luxing's eyes filled with tears because he had genuinely respected and admired Shang Tianyan during his time in the sect. Mo Yusheng, who had followed the master for an even longer period, suffered even greater pain and repeatedly murmured that he no longer had a master. A sorrowful atmosphere covered the entire square as countless disciples remained there for a long time without leaving. At the same time, Luo Feng continued flying through the night sky of Huyang City in his flying boat while Morosa carefully sensed the surrounding space. The sector beast was an extraordinary existence. It was both a perfect life form and naturally contained the great Tao of destruction origin, possessing a life level comparable to the primordial cosmos. Within its body, countless warriors with unimaginable abilities could be nurtured. However, because of Luo Feng's requirements, Morosa had transformed all of his power into divine power and never used the true methods of a sector beast outside the Star Tower. When it came to sensing and tracking presences, Morosa far surpassed Luo Feng. Luo Feng was ultimately only one among many eternal true gods, while Morosa's divine power was actually the power of a sector beast in disguise, making him extremely sensitive to all external divine power fluctuations. Suddenly, Morosa informed Luo Feng that he had detected the presence of Yusin Yi and her subordinates ahead on the left. He remembered their auras clearly from the previous attack on the Forbidden Land. When Yusin Yi had brought 4 followers with her, Luo Feng decided not to attack immediately because his highest priority was capturing Divine Monarch Shui Yun. Attacking Yusin Yi too early could alert the enemy. So Morosa continued searching throughout the city. As time passed, Luo Feng also gathered intelligence through the Dark Hall of the Flame Wind Association. The increase of Divine Monarch Shui Yun's bounty to 10 million cosmic sand indicated that the Yu Kingdom did not plan to send its top experts immediately, otherwise such a high bounty would not be necessary. After searching every corner of Huyang City, the flying boat finally stopped. Morosa confirmed that he had sensed every location multiple times without leaving any blind spots. Yet he still found no trace of Sang Shuiyan, unless Sang Shuiyan had been constantly moving at high speed and narrowly avoided them. The only remaining possibility was that he had already left Huyang City. Luo Feng realized that Sang Shuiyan was far more cautious than expected. This leader of the Shi Kingdom's forces had hidden his identity and most of his strength within Huyang City for countless years. And only after Shang Tianyan sacrificed himself was his true identity exposed. Once discovered, he had likely escaped the city immediately. Since finding Sang Shuiyan was impossible for the moment, Luo Feng decided to target Yusin Yi first, believing that she and Yusin Shu, as the core members of the Shi Kingdom's forces, likely possessed a way to contact him. The flying boat immediately changed direction and rushed toward the location where Yusin Yi's presence had been detected. Inside a seemingly ordinary cave mansion, Yusin Shu, Yusin Yi, and 3 eternal true gods were gathered together. Yusin Yi remarked that even they had never known Divine Monarch Shui Yun was actually Sang Shuiyan until Shang Tianyan exposed him. Yusin Shu commented that Marquis of Zhujiang was truly furious, increasing Shui Yun's bounty to 10 million cosmic sand while his own was only 2 million. He then asked Yusin Yi about her previous battle with Luo He and whether her frost body had really been destroyed. Yusin Yi admitted that Luo He was slightly stronger than her. With the suppression of Huyang City's great formation limiting her power, she had no chance of defeating him. Suddenly, the entire cave mansion exploded. Yusin Shu, Yusin Yi, and the 3 eternal true gods looked upward and saw Luo Feng descending with 6 pairs of brilliant golden wings. The surrounding matter collapsed into primal chaos currents that spread everywhere and suppressed all 5 of them. Recognizing Luo He, Yusin Yi was shocked. Yusin Shu also became cautious, fearing that General Yang Hu might have arrived as well because he knew he had no confidence to fight General Yang inside Huyang City. The moment he appeared, Luo Feng activated the Sha Wu wings and controlled primal chaos. He ordered Morosa to remain hidden and ensure that none of the eternal true gods escaped. With a single step, Luo Feng approached Yusin Shu and the others. Yusin Shu looked around cautiously before asking whether Luo Feng had come alone. Luo Feng calmly replied that he alone was enough and demanded to know the location of Divine Monarch Shui Yun. Yusin Shu mocked him, saying that only General Yang was worthy of his concern and that he did not consider other eternal true gods a threat. At the same time, Yusin Yi released her endless frost power to resist the primal chaos domain. Her mastery over domains was extremely high and capable of competing against Luo Feng's suppression. However, Luo Feng immediately released the mechanical stream secret treasure, the life-blood river. Endless waves of blood surged outward, and with the support of his perfect divine power and the primal chaos domain, they completely overwhelmed Yusin Yi's frost power and suppressed all 5 opponents. Yusin Shu and Yusin Yi were greatly alarmed because the power of the Blood Sea was comparable to Divine Monarch Shui Yun's methods, even though its mysteries were not as profound. Under the combined suppression of the primal chaos domain and the endless blood waves, the 3 weaker eternal true gods had no ability to resist and were dragged directly before Luo Feng. Begging for their lives, they admitted that Divine Monarch Shui Yun was always extremely cautious. He only contacted them when there was a mission, and they had no means of finding him themselves. They had only learned that his true identity was Sang Shuiyan on that very day and had no idea where he was currently hiding. Knowing that they had no useful information, Luo Feng showed no mercy. The blood energy invaded their bodies, shattered their true god hearts, and killed all 3 eternal true gods. Their corpses were then collected into the Star Tower. Afterward, Luo Feng turned his attention to Yusin Shu and Yusin Yi and asked them once more whether they knew the whereabouts of divine monarch Shui Yun. As 2 of the formidable 5 gods of Yusin, serving under Marquis Lu Yin of Shi Kingdom, Yusin Shu and Yusin Yi had experienced countless life and death battles and possessed extensive combat experience. The moment they sensed the dual suppression of the primal chaos domain and the lifeblood river, they immediately realized they had encountered an extremely powerful opponent. Using her mechanical flow secret treasure, Yusin Yi had created a frost body, and the power of frost it contained could rival primal chaos divine power. Combined with the primal chaos realm techniques she had comprehended, it gave her immense strength. She transmitted to Yusin Shu, wondering whether Luohe, who possessed such a terrifying domain and bloodwave, had also mastered numerous primal chaos realm techniques. She even questioned whether his strength could be comparable to divine monarch Shui Yun, who was famous for combining multiple primal chaos realm techniques to create a qualitative transformation in power. Yusin Shu transmitted that they had to give everything they had. They needed to defeat Luohe quickly and leave immediately, because if the battle dragged on for too long, General Yang would likely arrive. Yusin Yi agreed, knowing that General Yang was even more terrifying and could command the grand formations of Huyang City. The 2 launched their attack with confidence, as both were incredibly powerful individually and even more fearsome when fighting together. Yusin Yi's body became covered in gathering frost, releasing countless threads of frost. If magnified thousands of times, these threads were actually ropes formed from the power of frost, with secret patterns flowing across their surfaces. The sharp and condensed frost ropes pierced through the primal chaos domain and bloodwave, surrounding Luo Feng from every direction. Seeing that negotiation was impossible, Luo Feng summoned the Bloodshadow Knife and activated the godly king-level Dharma Duan Mie, as his divine power burned fiercely. Layers of protective blade energy formed around him through the 10 directions infinite blade. Countless frost ropes surged toward him, but none could break through his defense, leaving Yusin Yi stunned. Even her second brother's powerful godly body could only resist her attacks. Yet Luohe's blade energy remained completely unshakable. At that moment, Yusin Shu erupted with divine power and unleashed heavenly collapse, a devastating stick technique capable of splitting heaven and earth. The attack was powerful enough to surprise Luo Feng, who judged that his own full strength burst after completing his second body refinement years ago had only been around that level. Even so, Luo Feng had no intention of dragging out the battle or using it to hone his skills. Standing calmly with 6 pairs of golden wings spread behind him, Luo Feng finally drew his blade. The resulting blade light was so terrifying that it tore through space itself, creating a thin black crack in the stable space of the land of origin. The sight horrified Yusin Shu. In all his years of cultivation, he had only heard legends of primal chaos overlords possessing such power. The blade instantly crushed his long stick attack and sent him crashing deep underground into a massive crater. Only by burning divine power at more than 100 times its normal rate did he manage to survive. Thanks to the suppression of Luo Feng's primal chaos domain and the lifeblood river, the terrifying force remained sealed within the battlefield and did not spread outward. Looking down at Yusin Shu, Luo Feng remained completely composed. Although he was also burning divine power through Duan Mie, the consumption was insignificant because of his perfect divine body. Yusin Yi, however, was terrified. Seeing the spatial crack created by Luo Feng's blade and witnessing her famously domineering second brother smashed into the ground by a single strike left her shaken. She understood that without desperately burning divine power, Yusin Shu might have died instantly. Realizing the gap in strength, Yusin Shu immediately ordered her to flee. Yusin Yi split into 2 frost bodies and escaped at top speed. But regret filled her heart. When attacking the Forbidden Land, she had carefully hidden her true body far away while controlling a frost body remotely. After reuniting with her brother, however, she relaxed her guard and allowed her true body to remain at their base. She never imagined Luohe would discover their hiding place. In a desperate attempt to create an opening, Yusin Shu launched another attack. His long staff pierced through the primal chaos domain, the blood wave, and even Luo Feng's protective blade energy before striking directly against Luo Feng's chest. Yet the attack failed to pierce his skin. To Luo Feng, it felt no more threatening than a slight tickle. Without even glancing at Yusin Shu, he focused entirely on the fleeing Yusin Yi. Two blade lights flashed through the sky with unbelievable speed. Yusin Yi instantly realized she could not block them, although she desperately condensed cold ice blades to defend herself. The attacks carried the full might of Luo Feng's divine power and even traces of spatial rifts. One frost body shattered immediately. The second frost body collapsed as well, revealing her true form beneath the broken ice. A fatal blade wound split her chest apart, and her true god's heart was destroyed. Yusin Yi died instantly. Moments later, the rolling blood wave swept across the battlefield and collected her corpse into the Star Tower. Only then did Luo Feng turn his attention back to Yusin Shu. Feeling death approaching, Yusin Shu completely lost his earlier confidence and desperately shouted that he could help locate divine monarch Shui Yun. Hearing this, Luo Feng temporarily restrained his killing intent and questioned him. Yusin Shu was unwilling to die. Compared to ancient figures like Shui Yun and Mo Li Shao, his cultivation history was still relatively short. He had reached his current level largely because of his extraordinary bloodline and powerful godly body. If he could one day comprehend a true primal chaos realm technique, he believed he could stand alongside experts like General Yang. His future still held endless possibilities, and he was not willing to throw them away. Trying to save his life, Yusin Shu explained that the Marquis had ordered him, Yusin Yi, and divine monarch Shui Yun to act together. If he requested a rendezvous, Shui Yun would likely agree to meet him. Luo Feng responded that if Yusin Shu could truly lead him to Shui Yun, he would spare his life. With no other option remaining, Yusin Shu took out a special transmission token bestowed by the Marquis. He explained that it was a modified karmic messenger order that only the Marquis could use to determine locations, while the users themselves could not track one another. After Luo Feng inspected the token and allowed him to proceed, Yusin Shu immediately sent a message. Shui Yun, Yusin Yi and I have been hunted by the city lord's mansion. Yusin Yi is dead, and I barely managed to escape. Where are you now? I need to meet with you. The fate of divine monarch Shui Yun was no longer his concern. At that moment, Yusin Shu cared only about surviving. Who killed Yusin Yi? A cold voice asked. Luo he did, working together with the city lord's mansion. I barely escaped. Yusin Shu answered. There is no need to meet me. Return directly to Shi Kingdom. The cold voice replied. Yusin Shu angrily reminded him that the Marquis had ordered them to act together. But Shui Yun simply stated that he would personally explain everything before cutting off communication. With his strength now fully exposed, divine monarch Shui Yun was already regarded as the strongest eternal true god under Marquis Lu Yin, and he had no intention of taking unnecessary risks. Luo Feng, who had been listening, was not surprised by Shui Yun's decision. Knowing how cautious and suspicious Shui Yun was, he demanded that Yusin Shu reveal another way to find him. When Yusin Shu failed to provide any useful information, Luo Feng immediately attacked. In the fierce battle that followed, Yusin Shu's body split into 9 identical flesh avatars that fled in different directions while burning divine power. Luo Feng responded by unleashing the 3 aspects shadow blade from the world-breaking 9 blades. 9 nearly invisible blade shadows shot across the battlefield at terrifying speed. 8 avatars were instantly destroyed, while only the true body survived the strike and attempted to escape using the impact force. Just as Yusin Shu thought he had gained some distance, a gigantic bloody maw suddenly emerged from the blood waves. Morosa, who had been waiting in ambush, swallowed Yusin Shu whole. The battle ended instantly. Morosa later presented Yusin Shu's treasures to Luo Feng, keeping only a portion of the cosmic sand for himself. After collecting the spoils, Luo Feng and Morosa discussed their next target. Since Chairman Xan Yan openly represented Shi Kingdom's interests while Shui Yun secretly directed operations behind the scenes, Luo Feng decided to visit Xan Yan in hopes of uncovering Shui Yun's whereabouts. Not long after leaving the battlefield, Luo Feng received a transmission from the vice president of the Flame Wind Guild. Having confirmed the deaths of Yusin Shu and Yusin Yi, and knowing Luo Feng was the only bounty hunter who had accepted the missions, The vice president immediately deduced that Luo Feng was responsible. He congratulated Luo Feng and invited him to claim the bounty rewards. However, Luo Feng was more interested in finding Shui Yun. The vice president revealed that the Flame Wind Guild could perform a heavenly secret deduction to locate him. But the cost was enormous, 10 million cosmic sand. If Luo Feng possessed Shui Yun's blood, hair, or divine power, the cost would drop to 1 million cosmic sand. Even Luo Feng found such prices excessive and decided to seek another solution. Meanwhile, the Dark Hall of the Flame Wind Association updated its bounty records. News that Yusin Shu and Yusin Yi had been successfully assassinated spread throughout Huyang City like a thunderbolt. Every major force was shocked. Inside the Zhu clan, Zhu Hu was particularly surprised. During the previous large-scale battle, both Yusin siblings had survived unharmed, yet shortly afterward they were dead. After careful analysis, Zhu Hu concluded that General Yang was unlikely to be responsible because the Huyang City formation had never been activated. This left Lord Luo He as the most likely culprit. Although Luo Feng had only acted a few times since arriving in Huyang City, every action had been decisive and overwhelming, making it impossible for others to gauge his true strength. Elsewhere, Lord Wei reached the same conclusion. Having come from the Yu Kingdom's royal capital and knowing General Yang well, she believed the killings did not match Yang Hu's methods. In her view, Lord Luo He was the far more likely suspect. She also became increasingly curious about Luo Feng's origins, wondering whether he came from one of the ancient countries or from some hidden and powerful faction. Across Huyang City, the major powers, the 5 great families, and countless influential cultivators all discussed the same topic. Since the city lord's mansion had not launched any operation after the battle, suspicion naturally fell upon Lord Luo He. As deputy city lord, Mo Li Meng knew for certain that the city lord's mansion had not acted, making Luo Feng the obvious answer. He immediately contacted Luo Feng and directly asked whether he had killed Yusin Shu and Yusin Yi. Luo Feng calmly confirmed it. The confirmation left Mo Li Meng deeply shocked. His father, Mo Li Shao, had fought Yusin Shu with the assistance of the Huyang City formation and still failed to kill him. Yet Luo Feng had eliminated both siblings through his own strength. Such power was terrifying. When Mo Li Meng asked whether Luo Feng still intended to pursue divine monarch Shui Yun, Luo Feng replied that he was searching the entire city but could not find him. Mo Li Meng admitted that the city lord's mansion possessed a temporary tracking method known as the karmic tracing order, but he lacked the authority to hand it over. He promised to report the matter immediately. Even after Shui Yun had escaped from General Yang himself, Luo Feng remained determined to hunt him down. That confidence alone caused Mo Li Meng to treat him with even greater respect and caution. While controlling the flying boat, Luo Feng felt a trace of hope after communicating with Mo Li Meng. The city lord's mansion may have some method, Luo Feng thought, but he did not place all his hopes on Mo Li Meng as he looked toward the distance ahead. Master, Chairman Xan Yan is inside that cave mansion. I have locked onto his aura, Morosa said with absolute certainty. Good. Luo Feng nodded slightly. The ordinary cave mansion before them had never been publicly acknowledged by Chairman Xan Yan. After learning of Yusin Shu and Yusin Yi's deaths, he immediately hid himself within this cave mansion. At this moment, he was extremely nervous. You don't know either? Aren't you members of the 5 great families? You don't know who killed Yusin Shu and Yusin Yi? Chairman Xan Yan urgently transmitted. Whenever you ordered me to do something, I never refused. I handled all your dirty work for you. And now you must help me. However, the only response he received was the sudden termination of the transmission. I knew it. These useless members of the 5 great families cannot be relied upon when it truly matters. Chairman Xan Yan thought nervously. Who exactly killed Yusin Shu and his sister? Will this matter implicate me? Even Shui Yun has cut off communication and refuses to contact me. When disaster arrives, everyone looks out only for themselves. I'll wait until daylight, when countless cultivators are entering and leaving the city, and use the opportunity to escape. Chairman Xan Yan felt increasingly uneasy, sensing that this time the situation was truly dangerous. Boom! Chairman Xan Yan looked up in terror and saw the raging primal chaos current tearing apart the small building where he was hiding. Along with its formation, the primal chaos current surged in all directions and directly enveloped him. This is bad. It's Lord Luo He. Chairman Xan Yan felt a chill spread through his heart. It seems the one who killed Yusin Shu and Yusin Yi was indeed Luo He. Chairman Xan Yan was completely unable to resist. He was swept away by the primal chaos current and dragged outside. He saw a flying boat descending from the night sky, and Luo Feng and Morosa emerged from it. Behind Luo Feng, 6 pairs of golden wings spread open as he wielded the primal chaos. Lord Luo He, you've personally come? Chairman Xan Yan, restrained and trapped, immediately became extremely submissive. If there is anything you need, just give the order. There is no need for you to come in person. Where is Shui Yun? Luo Feng asked. Chairman Xan Yan hurriedly shook his head. I have no way of contacting him. The Shi Kingdom's forces in Huyang City operate both openly and secretly. You, Chairman Xan Yan, manage the forces on the surface, while Shui Yun controls everything from the shadows. Luo Feng looked at him. This has long been an open secret in Huyang City. There is no point denying it in front of me. Yes, I serve the Marquis, Chairman Xan Yan admitted frankly. But despite staying in Huyang City for so long, Divine Monarch Shui Yun has never met me. Only after Shang Tianyan exposed his identity did I learn that he was Sang Shuiyan. He has always been cautious of me, and now he has completely cut off all communication. I truly have no way to contact him. Then you are of no use to me, Luo Feng said, shaking his head. No, Chairman Xan Yan wanted to defend himself. But the primal chaos current instantly entered his godly body and shattered his true god's heart. At the moment of his death, Chairman Xan Yan was filled with deep regret. He had always known that accepting the mission to come to this great city within the enemy's Yu kingdom was extremely dangerous. However, for the sake of merit points and the resources granted by the Marquis, he still chose to come. He had remained extremely cautious throughout his time here, even secretly forming friendships with certain members of the 5 great families. Fearing that one day he might be killed, the 5 great families had indeed tolerated his presence, because killing Chairman Xan Yan would only result in another person taking over the intelligence network. But this time, he ultimately met his end, because of the nearly 10 billion affected living beings and because of his friend Shang Tianyan. Luo Feng's killing intent had reached its peak, and he effortlessly crushed Chairman Xan Yan to death. Luo Feng waved his hand and collected the corpse. Master, what should we do now? Shui Yun is far too cautious. There is no way to track his whereabouts, Morosa said. Both he and Luo Feng were confident that they possessed the strength to kill Divine Monarch Shui Yun. The only problem was finding him. The major leaders of the Shi Kingdom's forces within the city, Yusin Shu, Yusin Yi, and even the intelligence chief Chairman Xan Yan, all have no way to contact him. Luo Feng shook his head. Now we can only hope that the city owner's mansion has some good news. Otherwise, killing Shui Yun will not be something that can be resolved in a short time. Inside the city owner's mansion, the Lord of Huyang City, Commander Moli Xiao, the white-haired elder, General Yang, and Moli Meng were all gathered together. The one who killed Yusin Shu and Yusin Yi was actually this Luo He. General Yang exclaimed, even I would not dare claim with certainty that I could kill the Yusin siblings while facing both of them alone without relying on Huyang City's grand formation. He is still pursuing Shui Yun's whereabouts, Moli Xiao said. Knowing Shui Yun's strength and still daring to continue the hunt proves that he has confidence. Outside the city, even I am unable to do anything to Shui Yun, yet he still dares to hunt him down. Is he simply arrogant, or is his true strength actually greater than mine? General Yang felt conflicted, as he had always been extremely confident and proud of his own power. After all, he walked the path of laws and cultivated an unlimited godly body. With the guidance of a godly king and his mastery of primal chaos realm techniques, his talent was beyond question. Among all eternal true gods of the Yu kingdom, there were very few who could surpass him. Since he was able to kill the Yusin siblings, he is most likely not being arrogant, the white-haired elder said. No wonder he never took your city owner's mansion seriously before. General Yang laughed. With his true strength, even if all 10 great legions were deployed and the grand formation of Huyang City was activated, they still would not be able to threaten him. The Lord of Huyang City said. When Ying Kang attempted to assassinate him and ended up dying instead, we already knew he was not someone who could be easily provoked. Moli Meng, quickly contact Luo He, General Yang said. A mere karmic tracing order is not enough to request the presence of such a powerful existence. Since he has taken the initiative, we must seize this opportunity. Contact him, Moli Xiao ordered. They made the decision without much hesitation. Luo He's act of killing the Yusin siblings had completely earned their trust. Understood. Moli Meng nodded. Brother Luo He, our city owner's mansion possesses a karmic tracing order left behind by Xan Yan. It can be used to lock onto divine monarch Shui Yun's location at any time. Moli Meng transmitted his voice. Should I bring it to your cave mansion now? I will head to the city owner's mansion immediately. We can meet outside the mansion gate. Luo Feng replied, piloting the flying boat with Morosa accompanying him. He flew directly toward the city owner's mansion. Outside the city owner's mansion, an invisible domain spread throughout the area, preventing ordinary cultivators from clearly seeing the 5 figures standing there, the Lord of Huyang City. Moli Xiao, the white-haired elder, General Yang, and Moli Meng, as they waited for Luo Feng's arrival. I have never met this divine monarch Luo He before, General Yang said, showing great curiosity toward him. Divine monarch Luo He is actually very merciful. He only becomes ruthless when others provoke him. Moli Meng commented, possessing such power yet still maintaining mercy is truly rare. General Yang said approvingly. Suddenly, a flying boat descended from the night sky. Luo Feng and Morosa, master and servant, flew out from it, and Luo Feng stored away the flying boat. Brother Luo He, this is General Yang, Moli Meng introduced. Luo Feng recognized everyone present except General Yang, whom he had genuinely never met before. I heard that Lord Luo He intends to pursue and kill Shui Yun? General Yang asked with a smile. How confident are you? 70%. Luo Feng replied. Upon hearing this, General Yang and the others were secretly shocked. Without even engaging in battle, he dared to claim a 70% chance of success. Such confidence was extraordinary. Do you require my assistance? General Yang asked. No need. I am accustomed to acting alone. Luo Feng replied. Impressive. General Yang looked at Luo Feng with great admiration. I truly did not expect a powerful existence like Lord Luo He to appear within the Yu Kingdom's territory. Once this matter is concluded, I believe the 5 godly kings will certainly send their subordinates to invite you. A being of such strength, even if unable to become a primal chaos overlord, would still be qualified to become a great general. Do you have the karmic tracing order? Luo Feng asked, unwilling to continue the conversation. This was left behind by Xan Yan for the city owner's mansion, hoping that the mansion would gather enough strength to hunt down Shui Yun. Commander Moli Xiao explained, with the karmic tracing order, we can determine Shui Yun's location at any time. If you successfully kill Shui Yun, then all is well, but if Brother Luo He fails, please return the karmic tracing order. The Lord of Huyang City said as he handed the unusual token to Luo Feng. Do not worry, Luo Feng said as he accepted it. His statement of having 70% confidence was merely to avoid shocking them too much. If he and Morosa worked together and even used the Lai Yuan technique, yet still allowed Shui Yun to escape, that would truly be a disgrace. Divine power flowed from Luo Feng into the karmic tracing order, instantly establishing a connection and allowing him to sense a location extremely far beyond the city. That was where the target was hiding. As expected, he has already left the city. Luo Feng said to the 5 people before him. Everyone, I will now set out to pursue Shui Yun. Farewell. Please. The Lord of Huyang City and the others watched as Luo Feng and Morosa entered the flying boat, which quickly disappeared into the night sky. What do you think? Will Luo He succeed? The Lord of Huyang City asked. I believe his chances are very high. General Yang said. Have you noticed something? Even for such an important mission as hunting down Shui Yun, Luo He still brought his servant with him. That's right. His servant is merely a void space true god and should only be a burden. Why would he bring him along? Moli Meng asked in confusion. General Yang nodded. I have heard that in the land of origin, when some major forces train their elite disciples, they often assign a protector to ensure their safety. Lord Luo He and his servant have mysterious origins and such extraordinary strength. They may very well come from a powerful force. The Lord of Huyang City, Commander Moli Xiao, and the others were all startled. Of course, this is only my speculation. Whether it is true or not, you must not spread this information and disturb such a powerful being's path of cultivation. General Yang reminded them. We understand. All 4 replied with nods. Whether General Yang's speculation was correct or not, Lord Luo He's strength alone was enough to make them feel fear and respect.